Hi, I'm Katlin Bingham, and I've been a student at Poplar Ridge for about 5 years, and this is my baptism story. I've never thought about being baptized until about our 2020 fall retreat, which I think was my second big trip with Matt, and of course I had to go. I love fall retreat. It was so fun being around people I love. I thought it was going to be the same thing as every year, always having a camp high, but when you leave it starts to go away. But I wanted to keep that feeling even after I left. At the end of one of our sessions, I remember Matt saying something about if we needed to talk to someone about God, or if we were saying yes to God for the first time, then we could talk to him or one of our leaders. And I just had a thought in my head that I wanted to tell someone that I wanted to be baptized. But I didn't tell anyone at all about it. And then CIY came around, and I still haven't told anybody about being baptized or wanting to be baptized. A big group of people didn't go. I was expecting a big group to go, but it wasn't. It was just 7 girls and Matt, and I didn't think it was going to be as fun. After our first session, I realized it was going to be an awesome trip because I could really talk to these girls and I could be open because this was people I knew, like personally. And if it was a big group, I probably wouldn't be able to do that. On the third day of CIY, we had a speaker, Taylor Brown. After our session with him, Matt got him to come talk to our group one night. I thought it was gonna be so awkward because he was a stranger. I've never talked to him before. I've seen him speak before, but I've never actually talked to him face to face. I thought it was gonna be so awkward. None of us knew him. He didn't know us, but he actually talked to us like we knew him. He talked to us like we were friends, and that allowed me to be open and vulnerable with him and my group. I told him that I struggled with spreading the gospel and how I wanted to do that and talk about God to other people. He told me that he actually struggles with anxiety and he's had panic attacks before. Even though it looks like he's not afraid on stage, he's struggling inside. I just thought that was so inspirational because it was something I really needed to hear. After our group time, we were walking back to our dorms, and I spent a little quiet time in my room, and I was just going through all of our messages, notes I've taken, and I realized I most definitely needed to be baptized. It was something I wanted to do. So I texted Emily Heiler at around 12:30 in the morning, telling her I wanted to be baptized, and she texted me back like 2 minutes later. She told me she was so proud of me. I told her I wanted her to baptize me, and I wanted to be baptized at a pool that was on the Lee campus, actually, because I didn't know it was there, but I saw a girl getting baptized, walking to our first session, and I thought it was so cool, and it was something I wanted to do. It'd be so memorable. The next morning, Emily and Matt pulled me aside from our group and talked to me about details, about when I was going to do it. We decided to do it after all our sessions that night and decided not to tell anyone, and that was so hard to do because we went to Ruby Falls, we went out to eat. I was just spending the whole day with them, not a moment apart, and it was so hard to keep such a big secret away from them. I thought it was hilarious when we were eating food that was on campus. Matt accidentally said that I was gonna get baptized, and nobody heard him, so grateful for that. That would have been very not funny. Later that night, when I told everyone I was getting baptized, they all hugged me and cheered for me, and it was such a great feeling. I knew I was doing a good thing. When we got done with our session, we started walking to the pool, and when I stepped in, I was shaking so hard from nervousness and coldness. The water was freezing. When Emily started talking and Matt started recording, there was just a smile from ear to ear on my face. I didn't want this to happen. I'd never wanted it to be over with. When Emily dunked me in, it happened so slowly, and I'm glad it did because I was glad I was able to remember the moments, like in what happened, motion by motion. When I came back up, I hugged Emily as tight as I could because I was just so grateful that she would do something so important to me. When I got out, everyone hugged me and cheered for me again, and it was so awesome. 10 days later, Avery Riffey got baptized. A month later, Olivia Ashbrook got baptized. Sarah Tedder and Hannah Hodge and Riley Gunther, and it's just so awesome watching the people you love and the people you've gotten to grow closer with decide to take the same step that you have in dedicating their life to God. It's such a good feeling watching God move so quickly through you and your closest group of church friends. It's so cool to see how much someone can improve and change just from doing something as simple as getting baptized.